Here we are again at Flexway in the QC department where we're putting the final touches on another unique design 3-zone check weighing system for weighing little cartons of product. In this case, the cartons of product are 12 packs of caulk tubes. We've done the caulk tubes before. This time we're doing it a little bit differently than any of the other 2 or 3 methods that we've run the same carton through check weighing systems before. This system is probably unlike any other check weighing system that you've seen, which really isn't too surprising at Flexway. Your application, much like this customer's application, is probably not like every other application. So going at these challenges with a picture that you rip out of a catalog cut sheet that looks the same as the one before it, as the one before it, as the one before it, etc., may not be the best way to solve the problem, because your problem, much like this customer's, is unique. This unique situation has the cases coming out of a case sealer in a direction 90 degrees to his existing powered roller takeaway conveyor. So the case would come out of the case sealer like this, rotate on his powered roller conveyor like this against the pin, and head on down the way under power. Like always, we ask the customer, why not send us some pictures of your installation site? After he did that, we said, aha, he's using Hytrol ACC 138 powered roller conveyor, a product that we're familiar with, a product that we have integrated with before. So we could then design our system around his existing conveyor without having his conveyor here. We can do this very effectively in a very simple machine. What we always try to do, as we did in this case, is whenever possible we want to integrate a static dwell into the in-motion weighing process. Anytime that we can stop the package and weigh it static, we are by default going to pick up at least 5, maybe even 10 times better accuracy than we would with the technologies that are available for in-motion weighing, in other words, weighing the packages it travels through. Belt check weighers are great machines. We use them a lot ourselves, but when speed is not a factor and accuracy is, then we would prefer to go static. The scale doesn't have to support the heavy conveyor, therefore we're not wasting load cell capacity on machine that we really would prefer to be using for weighing the package. This particular machine weighs to the nearest 0.02 of a pound. That's not even breathing hard for a static dwell system. It's huffing and puffing and probably even unattainable for most slider bed systems. So you can see what we gain by going static dwell. Another thing that we gain, of course, is machine simplicity. No motors, no drives, no frayed belts, no belt tracking, no lubrication. These kinds of things tend to go away as part of the mix. So ownership becomes much more economical, and with our concept of designing to the application rather than the cut sheet, so does installation. He's able to keep all of his existing conveyor and will design around what he already has. Package comes out of the case sealer, comes down his powered conveyor, goes across, hits a photocell, the scale lifts, we weigh static, we classify, the package rolls away because it's powered conveyor. Very simple, very accurate, very easy to understand. If we can come around here, maybe we can get a better view of how this actually works. From this view, you can see that what we're using here is 138 gravity conveyor, which happens to have the same size rollers, same size roller spacing as the customer has in his powered roller conveyor on site. The primary difference is his conveyor is going to be much more narrow. I think he's got like a 10-inch wide conveyor where this is a 12-inch wide conveyor. As the package comes down, you'll see it'll pass through this photocell, the fins lift up. Once we've classified, the fins go down, dropping us back down on the powered roller conveyor, and the package goes away, clearing the scale zone for another package to come along. So one more time, package comes through, into the photocell, scale lifts, scale drops, package drives away. Installation is always an important consideration. As I mentioned before, instead of tearing up this customer's existing production line, we designed around his existing production line. So I'll demonstrate the installation very quickly. Let me take this temporary piece of conveyor off. The system will come looking very much like this, packed in a crate. What we would want to do prior to installation is take off this front guard. The front guard has 4 bolts. Pull the front guard off. Take off the fins. They're held on by 2 1/4-inch bolts right down through here. Lift the fins off. The height of the apparatus below the fins is specified for the height of his conveyor. He'll be able to slide this mechanism underneath his existing high-trawl conveyor with 1 inch to 1.5 inches to spare of clearance, sliding it underneath the side rails of his conveyor. Once it's underneath the conveyor, he can poke the holes, poke the conveyor rollers out of his existing conveyor if he hasn't done that already, to create an opening in his side rails to drop the fins back down in, fasten them back down to the scale deck, put the cover back on, put the rollers back in every other space, like so. And mechanically, the installation is complete. Beyond that, the hard part is going to be plug it into a standard duplex wall outlet for 120 VAC, hook up your air, enter your presets, and start weighing boxes. His whole production line is completely undisturbed. He needs to modify nothing. All of that providing better accuracy than a slider bed check weigher at a lower cost, and eliminating all the cost of the standard answer that normally you would hear is, well, Mr. Customer, here's your check weigher and everything is, and then he says, well, how am I going to install it? Well, no problem, Mr. Customer. All you have to do is carve out 60 or 70 inches worth of hole in your existing conveyor line and put it in there. And when the customer says, well, what am I supposed to do with the conveyor? The answer would be, well, don't you know a conveyor manufacturer? Go out and buy some more conveyor. We're not buying anything else. A simple, clean solution. And the way that it works, mechanically, when the package comes through the photocell, we've designed a lever system that will lift the scale up. At FlexWay, we lift the scale. We don't put apparatus, pneumatics, whatever it happens to be, motors and things like that, on top of the scale platform to lift the fins up through the rollers. When we put that kind of thing on top of a platform, you've got hoses and wires and cables and things like that hanging off the platform that tends to make the accuracy not as good as it could be if it were designed properly in the first place. The proper design is to lift the platform. The way that we do that is when the package hits the photocell, we've designed a lever system underneath the lifting mechanism here. There's something about FlexWay and lever systems. We know how to do that. Lever systems is what has made us famous over the years. This is a very simple, very low maintenance, very low movement type of a mechanism to lift the scale up, hold it steady, and that kind of thing. As far as manufacturing the fins are concerned, you can see we've got cutouts here for the return belt as it comes through. So we've designed around his existing conveyor without any obstruction or any modification of his conveyor. So here we are, once again, taking the customer's application, the challenges in his application, looking at it as if we had the customer's imagination and making that imagination a reality. It's a very robust system, very accurate, it will last a long time.